Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Hello, lovelies. It's Monday! Yay! Catherine, Jocelyn, Doris, Jennifer, all in the house. You know, I'm excited about today's show. I had a moment, this weekend, and I helped organize and was part of our home Conisty Falls pickleball tournament. We raised money. It's a scholarship thing. Our student scholarship thing raises a lot of money. We raised over $12,000. Plus we did raffle tickets. Plus we did a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I'm telling you all of this story because there were a couple of things that didn't go right. Surprise, lots of moving parts when it comes to a tournament. And I said, well, you know what? Sometimes you get beauty from the ashes, because we had a really nice redemptive story. I'm not going to go all into that because it's going to be talking about people's stuff, and I don't want to do that. But that just made me think about how often are we in this place where it's almost required of us to have that perspective of being able to turn ashes into some kind of beauty. And if it's promised in the good book, isn't it within us to be able to do it? So that's kind of our theme of the week, just kind of setting it up for you. But meanwhile, my goodness, hello, my sweet Sandy is here, and Jane and Nancy. Cheers. Where's my stuff? Except inside. What can I tell you? Jackie is in the house. Hello, Linda. Martha's here too. Doris. Good grief, we have a full house. I love it when you all show up, by the way. Like, it just makes my day. Behind me, what you can see is more of our construction. This is a neat glass door. That's going to be over here where this part of the porch is becoming a screen porch. And Mark found that at Habitat. I always love being able to reuse things and recycle things and all of that, instead of being a part of the problem and filling up our landfills. We don't need to do that. Your Crave water isn't it so tasty? I had that today. I had a whole bottle. I use Crave water mixed in with my hot milk mix. Hello, is that delicious? Sue and Kathy, I'm so glad you're here. Mark, he's more than handy. Look at this, y'all. Take a look. Do you see in that corner there? Do you see that red thing? That's for putting drywall on the ceiling. He also found that at Habitat. We're doing this. He also recycled a lot of wood that he took down and put through, and I'm very impressed with him. He's got the electricity all run. I mean, he can do anything. That's my man. Very proud of him. So just thought I'd give him a hat tip, right? Yeah, beautiful wood on the door. I think, I'm not sure how that's going to work, if it's going to stay wood or if it's going to end up painted. You'll have a mixed drink tomorrow. Try that tomorrow, Nancy. So just make sure you give yourself a lot of water. It works out that way. So anyway, that's that. We have a really great special for you this week. And I will tell you, my disappointment will skyrocket if everybody doesn't take advantage of this, because every single woman on the planet needs this. I'm talking about Bio Omega-3 X. This is fish oil. This is what makes your brain operate. It must make your heart operate. It's necessary component for weight loss. And boy, oh boy, don't you ever feel good. It's going to help with your joints. It's going to help with everything. And we are chronically lacking omega-3 fatty acids in our diets. We do. I mean, we get plenty of other stuff, but omega-3 fatty acids, no, probably not. You probably have a deficit. Bio Omega-3 X. Do you know, everyone in my household takes a ton of this. We go through bottles, including my doggy, which makes him have a really pretty coat. I open up a capsule and put it in his food every single day, twice a day. Buy one, get one. It is on sale right now. As long as supplies last, you can find it at savingdinner.com/show. I will tell you too that I'm generous this way, but if you order 3, I'll send you 3. If you order 4, I'll send you 4. If you order 6, I will send you 12, right? 12. So total. Buy one, get one, no matter what the quantities are. We're not limiting it. Just letting you know. We're also going to give you this beautiful me book. Ask Nancy about these books. She loves these. Mother Hen, don't you? She gave them to her granddaughters. This is such a beautiful book, which basically it's a journal of sorts that helps you to understand the importance, the absolute exquisite necessary mindset shift to become someone who values her self-care. You need to value your self-care. In this it's a lovely book, by the way. It's so great. There's journaling opportunities in here. There's lists of how to do it. There's there's an assignment like write a letter to yourself, but it's so loving and so beautiful. I am thrilled about this, and I'm excited to give this to you because it's going to make a difference in your life. Okay. savingdinner.com/show. Of course, we're going to let you know all about it. Of course we are. Other things. What other things do I have to tell you? What other things do I have to tell you? Oh, Rising Tide starts tomorrow. Are you in it? Are you on it? This is the Rising Tide workbook. Yeah, you want it. I mean, even if you decide to do it like right now, I'm not going to be able to get this to you, but we will put it in the mail tomorrow or today rather, and we will send you a PDF so you're ready to start. Go to savingdinner.com/rise. I will tell you everything about this book is that it takes your goals and helps you to see them seriously and helps you to take action steps on them instead of just writing them down and letting them go. That's what this is about. This workbook is everything. And by the way, all of our people who are doing this is going to get them through the first 3 weeks, and then we're going to give them PDFs so they can print these off as much as they want and use them on a daily basis. This workshop, it's an intensive, is 2 hours every Tuesday starting tomorrow. And boy, oh boy, are we going to get some stuff done. I mean, it is going to be something. I'm really excited about this class. I'm inviting you to be a part of it. savingdinner.com/tide. That's what we have there. The other thing is, about our boutique. You can find that on Etsy, savingdinner.com/Etsy. And you know that we do free shipping on orders over $300 because we absolutely love you and so appreciate you. It's the least we can do for you. So thank you for that. Our quote of the week: sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. I hope you put this into your journal and just think about this, because we all need to take that apart. What does that mean? What is that small step? What is that small step in the right direction? Oftentimes we dismiss ourselves so quickly. We dismiss ourselves and we don't think it's enough, right? Well, I'm here to tell you right now that those small shifts matter, that is enough, and that yes, you have the capacity for this, you have the capability of it. And today, as we talk about taking beauty from ashes, what we're really looking at here is the strength and the power of perspective and acceptance as well. Your perception of something and your acceptance of something is crucial. It's important. It's everything. Hello, Autumn. I'm so glad you're here. Deborah, you too. I'm glad you're here. So what this is saying, though, this Bible verse, what is this Bible verse saying? That there's beauty from ashes. What does this mean? It means that it's encapsulating a transformative journey from despair to hope is what it's doing. From despair, from darkness to light, from the place of weakness to strength. And when I say to you that you're stronger than you think you are and that you've got more in you than you think you do, I'm not just saying this because I want you to feel good. I'm saying this because this is God's honest truth. He's put this in you. He's put it in me. He's put it in all of us. No one is walking around with a deficit of strength. Some of us just haven't pulled it up yet. Some of us haven't called on ourselves to say, hello, it's time to pull out that strength. And I want you to know that, especially a lot of you, I hear people sometimes say that, well, I rely on God and this, that, and the other thing. And I said, and I'm, oh, of course you do. We all do. However, to understand who made you and who put you together piece by piece, DNA by DNA, cell by cell. Why are you made this way? Why does God Himself say that you are fearlessly and wonderfully made? Why? Why is this? What are you about and who are you? And in the face of this, in being able to translate beauty from ashes, that's a part of the strength that has been given as a gift, a birthright, even. So when we understand that there's a possibility of finding beauty from ashes, even in the adversity, even in the grief, even in the the most dire circumstances, then we can understand how impactful our perspective is going to be and what it's going to outline and set up for us as far as what our life is going to look like. So let's look at this for a minute, because when we look at beauty from ashes, what we're looking at is resilience. I don't think there's a more beautiful part of a woman than her resilience, than her strength when she stands against the storm. The storms come. Storms aren't going away. Nobody's immune to adversity, but everyone has the resilience inside of them, even if it hasn't been tapped yet, even if it hasn't been discovered. It is there. There is hope. There is strength also in the wake of hardship, simply because we know who we are and what we're about, who created us after all. So if we understand that this whole beauty from ashes thing is symbolizing the human spirit, this incredible spirit that was created within us to heal and grow and rebuild, then that's part of the acceptance. And it's also part of us calling on the strength. Calling on the strength. As we call to God, we can call on our own strength as well. Show me the strength that I have. Allow me to be stronger than I think I am. Because it's there. You put it there, God. You did this. I am His work, after all. So when we do this, we can harness adversity and catalyze this for human growth, our own personal growth, and also empowering ourselves so that we're not going to just curl up into a corner and say, I just can't. Because can't is giving up. Can't is saying I don't have that spirit that was supposedly created within me, right? Can't creates within us the biggest obstacle ever, and that is between our ears. Am I right about that? I know that when I changed this idea of stopping to say can't all the time, just say it's too hard, it's too this, it's too that, and started to say, well, wait a minute here. This is what I've been given. This is my hand. What am I going to do with this? How can I play this just a little bit different? How can I look at this a little bit different? So there's 5 things that we can do to really create this mindset so that we can start the process of tapping into our own resilience and finding that power, finding that strength. And the first one is to cultivate this incredible mindset that we're talking about and perspective by having the presence to engage in mindfulness. Mindfulness is kind of a catch-all phrase, isn't it, for just how we think. But when we understand that there is power in the way that we perceive things and power in the way that we show up for the challenges, instead of retreating and showing up, this proactivity, then we can start seeing within us this amazing resilience. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't get there without cultivation. You've got a garden inside that needs to be taken care of. You need mindfulness to go into that garden. That starts with meditating and journaling and being very present with the people that you're with. It's from noticing. It's from making a conscious effort to change your words, change your thoughts, exchanging those ashes for beauty, exchanging the I can'ts to I can think of another way out. There are things that I can do. And looking at yourself from a completely different lens. Because if we see ourselves the way our God sees us, can you think of how much more gentle and caring and loving and beautifully we're going to show up for ourselves in our own lives and for others and for those that we love? And because, well, ultimately, as we do this, we bring glory to our Creator because we're not shirking our responsibilities. We're not shrinking back. We're standing up. We're taking responsibility for our lives, even in the I don't like any of this. It's really ugly. It's really awful. It's terrible. And it's something that we have to confront though. Nobody is able to just step aside and say, I just don't want this. Sometimes we're handed a hand we plain don't like. It's painful. It's hurtful. We'd do anything to go back in time and not have that happen. But if we live there, we're taking those ashes and holding on to them. We're not making the exchange. And the exchange is from our free will that we do this. And as we do this, it becomes an offering. It becomes, this is all I have, God. And God says, that's enough. That's what true love does. And that's how it works in our lives as we go forward with all of this and we cultivate this mindset and this presence about us. I sure hope this makes sense. It does to me. Hi, Lynn, by the way. But not just meditating and journaling and doing all these things and having prayer time and just being open and honest and sincere and acknowledging everything that's going on. But we also, number 2, need to acknowledge and process our emotions. That's part of it. That's all a part of it. Our emotions are a part of who we are. Remember how we talk about heart, mind, body, and soul? We talk about that endlessly because that is who we are. It's a part of our heart. It is a part of our mind. It's a part of our body. And it is deeply rooted within our soul. Fearfully and wonderfully made, by the way. So what can you do with this then? When we understand that we have to acknowledge and process this, I will tell you there is nothing more, to me, more helpful than this $1 journal that I got from the dollar store. Nothing. Because in there I can take everything that's all looped together like a big bowl of spaghetti and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on. And I have thoughts and feelings and, resentment, anger. I have, this incredible deep sadness, whatever it is, put it all down there. And then ask for the exchange. How do I create, or how do you create, God, beauty from all these ashes that I'm laying here at your feet? Ask those questions. If we don't ask, we don't get. If we don't give things up, we're not going to get things in return. When we plant a garden and then just walk away from it, we're not cultivating anything. We've just planted seeds into barren land. There needs to be fertilizer and water and sun. There needs to be the plucking out of weeds. This is what we're doing when we're cultivating this mindset and acknowledging our emotions, because our emotions play into who we are. We don't divorce ourselves from our emotions. We look at them. We observe them. They're a part of who we are. And we understand that they will come and they will go like waves in the ocean. They don't need to dictate our next steps. They simply need to be acknowledged and processed. So when we acknowledge and start acknowledging our emotions rather than suppressing them, this is the pivotal moment that we start to make the healing journey. And it makes space for this new perspective. It allows for possibility. It doesn't close us off anymore. Number 3 is that we have to embrace vulnerability. This vulnerability inside this stuff, our feelings, our fears, and the uncertainty about what's next. If we allow ourselves to embrace that, then we're going to know what to do next. We don't have to know what to do next before we embrace it. We simply need to embrace it. These are my feelings. These are my fears. This is the uncertainty that I'm facing. And I don't know what's next. That is a complete, full confessional, if you will, of understanding that we leave things at the foot of the altar. We don't carry them around because we don't have anything. We don't know what to do next. God does, right? Of course he does. And have you noticed that when you start talking about this and when you start sorting things through and when you start putting a voice to it, that suddenly solutions start to show up? What do you think that is? That, my friend, is answered prayer. It's answered prayer. And it's also God saying, hey, look, you know what? We're a team and I love you. And I'm giving you these capacities, these skills, this opportunity for you to show up in your brightest way. And I'm with you every single step of the way. You're the quarterback. God's the coach. He doesn't carry the ball for us, but he shows us how to do it. Have you thought of things that way? I'll tell you, when I think of things that way, it gives me comfort. It gives me a deep-seated knowing that I'm not going to be left behind. It gives me this idea that, this love that covers me entirely, as flawed as I am, is enough. I'll know what to do next. I just need to hold on and know that our God is an awesome God. He doesn't just say, hey, let's do this. Let's play with her. Let's mess her up. No, he's saying to you, you know who you are. I gave you all of who you are. If you don't think that you have it, look again. Look again. Because he didn't leave it out of you and give it to someone else. We're all these women. We are. And we're all beautifully, fearfully, wonderfully made. And that is the thing that we have to tap into. Because if this is so, follow the logic. If this is so, then the God of all is going to give you and equip you with what you need. And that is a solemn promise. Read the Bible. It's in there. It's a solemn promise. The other thing that you need to do, as we're understanding that our vulnerability is paving the path for us to accept and to change our perspectives and to see ourselves through a different lens. We have to practice this gratitude, because without gratitude, we can't expand the borders of our hearts. Gratitude does that. Gratitude changes our perspective about everything. And when you chronicle it, like if you use this beautiful meat, which you can do here, or in just anything else, but when you chronicle this, you're writing it down. You're connecting your head to your heart, and you're writing it down with your your hand. There is a neurotransfer there. There's neural pathways being created. And you're saying, I am desiring to change my perspective and to change the way that I see things. That's how you're looking at things when you do this. And it shapes us. It changes us from this lack and from this nothingness into a place of abundance, from ashes to beauty. It fosters positivity in our brain and plants that seed so that you then have the power to nurture that seed and to grow it. We are given the gift of seeds. but we don't have somebody else to garden for us. We have to do our own gardening. This self-responsibility of nurturing these tiny baby seeds as they become these tiny little seedlings. It's up to us to shelter and to train that up almost like a child. Because inside, that's what we need. And what does that do? It changes everything. It changes us from being closed down and to seeing everything only as an obstacle and, you know, just crapping all over ourselves, to seeing instead the possibility, the promise of new life, and the promise of abundance ahead. This is pivotal, by the way, for transformation. You have a garden to tend to. It's yours. The seeds have been given it. What a tremendous gift. You put them in the dirt. You start nurturing those seeds. This is how we say thank you in return, by the way, to the maker who gave us all these great things. And then the last one is that we need to engage in acts of kindness because this is action. This is action. This is putting all of this into action. This is saying, you know what? This is what I'm doing with this. I've seen this so many times. I had a girlfriend who, she had a child who had died at 12 years old, and walking across the room and fell into her arms and just passed. And because of this, I mean, of course, her mother still grief stricken. I mean, how many years ago was this? 2016, 17. You know, her daughter will be forever 12. And because of this daughter, because of this love for her daughter, she started a foundation for awareness of this particular disorder. And she's brought a lot of people into awareness and brought in people that are starting this research. I mean, her daughter's not coming back, but she took these ashes and she changed them into beauty. And maybe she helped save some child's life. Maybe she spurned on more research. This is what I'm talking about here. And this is a deep step and a difficult one. And I'm certainly not saying go do this tomorrow if you're in the midst of processing all of this. But we cannot change what we have, can we? This is where we are. What we can change is how we show up for ourselves, for our loved ones, and changing our perspective so that we do get this exchange of beauty for ashes. So this is a substantial mindset shift, by the way. It is. It's a lot. It's a big ask. We serve a big God. He wouldn't be saying these things in his word if he didn't mean it. He wouldn't be telling us to do this. But if we do this, if we make this shift, then there's the intentionality behind all of it, isn't there? We cultivate that mindfulness then, just like we're cultivating our garden, just like we planted the seeds. We're going to acknowledge our emotions. That's part of it. And you know, our emotions don't need to be all shined up and pretty. Our emotions are raw and just, you know, have you ever been in a place in your life where it's just, you've ever done something wrong, that you've had this thing? I had an old priest in my life. I was Episcopalian, who used to say, you know, sometimes you have to come to the place of rug eating repentance, face on the floor, crying, you know, smelling that rug. Sometimes we need to be in that place. And sometimes that's just where our emotions are. It's just raw and in the carpet, as much as we hate that. But that, from that vulnerability, that's where the change happens. Because all we can do is acknowledge it and say, here it is, you know, here it is. We embrace that vulnerability. We practice gratitude, even for that, even for the stuff that we don't want. And then when we engage in kindness and give out from our depth of despair and give to others, like my friend did with her daughter's death, then there's a beautiful exchange there. The world becomes enriched because of your action, your grace, your ability to transform these ashes. That's because the one who made you looked at you and said, she is my chosen lovely. And to all of you who are struggling with something right now, my heart goes out to you. And I would love you up as much as I possibly could. And that's also part of the whole thing too, is surround yourself with some beautiful people who care and love you, that will expand the borders of your heart because they've expanded the borders of theirs. That's an exchange as well. Allow this transformation, though, to unfold and watch how your life changes. You, me, none of us can change anything that happened in the past. But we can exchange those ashes for beauty as long as we have the right attitude about it, the right lens to see it, and the understanding to know that our God is an awesome God, and he's not going to leave us in a pile of ashes, ever. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget all of our announcements, every single one of them, you can find at savingdinner.com/announcements. We'd like to take care of our people. We like to make sure that you have everything that you need. And if there is anything that you ever need from me personally, you can always reach out, send an email to support@savingdinner.com. Know I've got your back. So does our whole team. And we love you. Thank you so much for showing up today. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.